It's one of the best, if not the best-selling book of all time. Yeah. You're going to change millions and millions of lives with that.
I'd like to just acknowledge you for taking the time and the space to do all this research as you always do, distilling all that information down into a digestible space in one little space. Well, it's not that little. I mean, it's 720 pages, but certainly smaller than a library.
You know, scientists, the best Nobel laureates, the best regenerative doctors. That's how I got to meet both of you. And I'm on fire, and I just wanted to give it all to as many people as possible, and then use the book also, because we fed now. I said I'd feed 1 billion people in 10 years. About 7 years ago, we're up to 850 million meals. If we would have said 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you could actually reverse aging, you'd be a laughing stock in science.
Things have really changed in the last few years. You're right. I was reticent or worried to even mention the word age reversal 5 years ago, and now it's the hottest thing. Everyone's talking about it. And that's because that we've discovered that the body has a backup copy of youth that we can access. But when that's possible and it becomes mainstream, then it's going to be a very different planet. And we're going to look back at today with some sympathy for people that didn't make it long enough to be able to take part in this revolution. So what can you do now for yourself and your parents and your grandparents? Well, read Tony's book and look at ways to stay alive, healthier for longer, because the revolution's coming. And it's all about staying alive until that technology arrives.
In the book, you'll discover, if you can pick it up, there are tools that sound like magic. They sound like something that happened 20 or 30 years in the future, and they're happening right now. The book is everything you can do now or within 36 months. So you can prepare yourself and be the first ones to take advantage of it once those things are proven. Most of the scientists in this book are driven to contribute because they've been through a tragedy. They lost a husband or a wife or a patient or someone, and they just wouldn't accept the standard of care. They went and pushed the last 20, 30 years, like you guys have, to get where we have these answers for them today. Another one, to give an example, is like one of the great things, I found these things are useful for me, but I also wrote this book is for people who you love. So we do the test. My father-in-law is perfect. He's got like a 25-year-old's heart. I mean, he was better than I was. I was doing really great, but he was absolutely perfect. Yeah. So now his whole mindset changes. So we get on the plane. This is my favorite experience. He's sitting across from me like this, and he goes, you know, Tone, these people talking about living to 120, because, you know, I've introduced him to a lot of brilliant people. He goes, I don't know if I buy that. Yeah, I could live 20 more years. My heart's perfect. I'm walking perfect. He goes, you've only been married to my daughter 22 years. That's like another lifetime, you know? So what I love seeing is how people get a compelling future when they read this book, and they see that they can really make changes that they thought were impossible. I think we can all deal with a difficult today if we have a compelling tomorrow. And tomorrow can be brought closer, like immediately, by taking some actions. It's pretty damn exciting.